Huh?
What is up, YouTube land? We're here with one of my favorite Resident Evil games. I know that there's some plebs out there that think it's mid or kind of good, but it's like a top 3 or 4 Resident Evil game for me.
It's funny because I'm doing LP.
Yep.
I played this game probably as maybe more than Spencer, especially with these recent playthroughs. And I really like this game, but it has some pretty obvious flaws, but we'll get into it.
Yep.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to do New Game Hardcore on third person. I'm too casual to do Village of Shadows. It's possible. It's a really dumb difficulty. The enemy HP values are inflated to such a ridiculous degree if you do it on New Game. It is zero fun, so I like to challenge myself, but I also like to have fun, and New Game Hardcore is fun enough. And third person was introduced with the DLC, and kinda, it's not broken, just kind of, it's not super polished, but it is fun just as something different, because I played this game so many times.
I think the only...
I'm also excited to watch all the cutscenes, because I skipped all of them while I was practicing this. It's been a while.
I think my favorite thing about this game is the fact that you have to keep coming back to the village, and each time it keeps opening up slightly more of what you can do. It really gives me Resident Evil 1 vibes of, like, you never leave the mansion, but you go to, like, a certain area, and then you head back to the middle, and oh my goodness, there's this one extra thing you can do. And I think that's wonderful.
I definitely agree. I wish the village was bigger.
I agree, yes. Yeah.
I just wish that this game is, like, much bigger than Resident Evil 7, but I feel as if they put, like, effort into the wrong areas, and we'll get into that more, but like, it's mostly specifically the dollhouse and especially Moreau's area.
The dollhouse, and we'll see that in 2 or 3 sit-downs, is amazing the first time, but after that, I probably played through this game 6 or 7 times to do the platinum and everything. I wanted to max out everything. The dollhouse after the first time, once you know what to do, because it's like a big puzzle thing, is kind of like, okay. It's like playing the game Myst, multiple times. Like, it's the best on your first playthrough, because after you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. There's no challenge.
It's especially baffling because they definitely wanted you to play this game multiple times, like a lot of times. You don't even unlock Village of Shadows difficulty unless you beat the game once.
It would have been cool if they would have just given an option. You enter the dollhouse, and it would just give you a prompt like, "Do you want to skip to the doll fight?"
Yeah.
I feel
there's no items, there's no anything.
There's literally nothing.
But
yeah.
The dollhouse,
and it's only 15 minutes once you absolutely know what you're doing, but it does slow it down. I also really like the inventory / merchant. His name is Duke, if I recall.
The Duke, yeah.
And I think that it has some of the best. I think it's better than Resident Evil 4 for the whole inventory management and all of your updates that you get and all that stuff.
Talking about Resident Evil 4, one of this game's strengths and flaws is that it desperately wants to be RE4.
Oh, of course.
And I think it did inherit some of the more annoying parts about RE4, such as you can only upgrade weapons in set intervals throughout the game, and they will only let you upgrade the handgun to the second attack until you finish Lady D's castle. And I love RE4 original, but that is something that's super annoying to me. And RE4 Remake also does it, but it's not nearly as bad. That's actually something that RE4 Remake fixed a lot.
I forgot how great this game looks.
Yeah.
I know this is PC, so obviously it's going to look,
There's nothing wrong with my memory.
Whatever, better than PlayStation, PS5 or whatever, but still, this looks really good. And this game's, 3 years old at this point?
Yeah, it came out in 2011? It came out the year
2021.
Oh yeah, 2021. Sorry, not 2011.
That would be amazing.
That's what I meant. Also, this will not be a spoiler-free playthrough. We're going to talk about spoilers and how Mia is Lady Miranda right now.
No! Yeah, I don't mind. In fact, I actually really like...
Julian.
There's a part you play... I wish. He never sleeps. I wish that... there's a part that you play as Chris very late in the game, and I really like the gameplay for that. The only thing I don't like, I guess my major complaint with this game would be the the end story is pretty stupid.
The story is pretty dumb, but
the story's cool until you put a thing back together, and then it's about Mother Miranda, and she's just not a great villain.
it's pretty much all the flaws of RE7, where RE7's a good self-contained story, and then they try to like make it like some bigger, more integrated start of the timeline. It's like, this is stupid now.
And then also, are you gonna play the DLC?
Yes.
DLC sucks. It is like
I actually have not played it yet because I don't
Man.
want to practice it while and like memorize
there's
it.
literally nothing to practice. It sucks. It doesn't even suck. It's a nothing burger. I was so upset because I was like, I love this game so much. I'm gonna buy the DLC. I forget what it was, like $15. I didn't. But at that point, when the DLC came out, I had played this game so much that I did not want to try the third person mode. I was so burned out.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
It's especially weird because it took them like a year and a half to release the DLC. It was way too late. And then...
Oh, hands off, mister.
Yo, that would hurt like hell! Do you see that? She whacked his hand with a hot freaking... Even for that half a second, that would hurt like
But
hell.
if you're gonna keep sulking all evening, maybe you shouldn't have any.
Just saying. Also, that is a lot of, like,
Worrying.
stew for, like... Because the baby doesn't eat any. He's 6 months
Yeah.
old. That is a lot of stew for, like, just a husband and wife. It's like, I made this huge stew. I hope that's all you want to eat for 3 days.
It's, when you analyze a story at all, it
I
makes,
know.
It makes absolutely zero sense, because why would Mother Miranda impersonate Mia? Why would Miranda not just instantly kill Ethan to take Rose? Why is she doing this long con thing? Oh, crap.
Mia, get down.
Also, a very minor complaint. Dude, the first time I saw this, I was like, what in the effing F?
And also, the plot is derived from miscommunication and just not telling with Ethan anything that's happening. To
All
Ethan.
Chris had to do was just say, hey, Ethan, this is what's going on.
That is
But
not
he-
your wife, Ethan. Just
but he
immediately
didn't.
right now.
Also, Chris doesn't look like Chris Redfield. He's only in the very end of Resident Evil 7. And then, I guess he looks more like Chris Redfield in this one.
Sorry.
He just looks like a weathered, Chris Redfield.
But
the RE7 one, he doesn't. He looks younger than he does in RE1.
Yeah, RE7 Chris is the worst Chris.
It doesn't make any sense. Because when it was like, I'm Chris Redfield, I was like, what? And so, I didn't look up this timeline, but I was like, does this game take place before RE1? You know what I mean? Because he looks so young. Because what, in RE1, I don't know how canonically old he is, but he looks like he's like 30, 35. You know what I mean? Like, he looks like he's seen some crap.
Now he looks like his age because all the RE protagonists are so old. He's like in his late 40s now.
Yeah.
Also, we're in an interesting time for the RE franchise because RE4 Remake came out a year and a half ago, and it's kind of been radio silent since. Still no official reveal of RE9. There's a lot of rumors, but I don't think there are any leaks. I don't know what to believe.
It's amazing that Capcom can have less leaks than Nintendo. Like, Nintendo is having leaks aplenty about the Switch 2, or at least so I've heard. And it's just crazy. And I know that's a console compared to a game, but it's just crazy how, like, Capcom clearly is working on a Resident Evil, and it's probably half done, more than half done.
Apparently, for the longest time, Nintendo leaks happened so easily because Nintendo's like online infrastructure was like 15 years like out of date, and like someone with insider knowledge just knew how to get to the back door of their like website that just posted everything, and that's how that happened for a long time. I think Nintendo's gotten better, but
Talked about this.
leaks and just happen. I hate leaks, but you just gotta accept them.
Yeah, I don't.
I just hate being like. It's not that I'm like, oh, I hate being spoiled. It's just like, why even bother leaking stuff like a week early?
Yeah.
We matter.
Yeah, I remember, Last of Us 2 ended up not being a great game, but I remember someone told me, like, hey, Last of Us 2 got fully 100% leaked. So I literally couldn't go on, like, the internet for, like, a week and a half until the game came
I
out.
have to take this.
Anything that would have anything to do with video games. So I couldn't go on message boards. I couldn't really watch any video game YouTube stuff. Because someone would just be like, oh, that crazy Last of Us 2 thing. And I'm like, great, that's really cool.
Yeah, and there's so many bad actors that they just do it just to ruin people's time, just because they suck.
It's pretty funny, like, on the surface level. Like, do you remember when the Harry Potter books were coming out, and people would just go around with megaphones at the releases and go, Snape kills Dumbledore, lol, I troll you.
The one I know the most is someone had access to the intercom of a bookstore, like, while they were waiting for the release, and they're just like, attention customers, Dumbledore is killed by Snape. That is all. Have a good day.
And, like,
Rose.
on the surface, that's pretty funny, but then when you think about it, it's, like, actually really cringe, in my opinion. Because it's like, the people there, like, are some of those Harry Potter fans that were there, like,
What the hell?
a little aggressive in their Harry Potter fandom? Yeah, sure. But at the same point, do they deserve to have something they've been looking forward to so much ruined? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
Yeah, it's like, it's funny if you don't care about it, but it's not funny when it's
If you
something
put
to
yourself
care
in
about.
their shoes and, like, wait a minute, what if I was a Harry Potter fan and found this out? I would be pretty angry. Like, I found out from a customer who I specifically told not to tell me. He started the conversation by saying, have you played Last of Us 2? And I said, I just started, don't do any spoilers. And, like, 2 sentences... This isn't George. Like, 2 sentences later, he was like, man, it's just crazy that Joel died. And I was like, that's really cool. I actually just said, don't give me spoilers. But, okay, cool. And so then when I got to the part where he died, I was like... Because they made the scene like, oh, maybe he'll get out, you know, whatever. But, like, once I knew, I was like, cool, well, this loses all of it, you know. So don't spoil stuff. Like, you can... There's a limit. Like, once something's, like, a couple years old, whatever, you know. Like, you can be like, hey, Eris dies. Unless, like, some kid's like, I'm playing FF7 for the first time. Don't be a jerk. But, like, otherwise you can be like, lol, Eris die, lol.
I mean, there's just stuff that you cannot, in the cultural zeitgeist, after a certain amount of time, it's like, you just cannot prevent it. But if someone's like, if they're completely blind and they don't know, just, you don't want to ruin it.
It's like, what's the point?
There's no point. Anyway, this game is, it is extremely, extremely, extremely difficult in the first hour, and then it gets monumentally easier as the time goes on. And, in fact, I would say that this game just slowly gets easier and easier as you get more stuff, but this first village section is really hard, even on veteran, and on Village of Shadows it's almost impossible in a new game. You have to be so perfect.
This is, for those unaware, and, you know, like we said earlier, I apologize that we are... Well, I do and I don't. That we're going to be, you know, talking about stuff that happens late in the game. But if it's your first time through, this game's 3 years old, so, you know, whatever. But,
It's actually... oh, yeah, it's 3 years old.
This,
3.5 years.
This part coming up is pretty much a survive... You get to a certain spot and then just have to survive for a certain period of time. So it has nothing to do with how many enemies you kill or anything like that.
It also has to do with the main enemy of the game are the Lycans. They're just
Also,
I guess they're not werewolves. I don't know what they are. Just sort of mindless human things. But the Lycans are extremely... They're probably the hardest default enemy of any Resident Evil. And I think it's for both cool reasons and also very not cool reasons. They blatantly read your inputs. If you are over their model and you hold the aim button, they'll just dodge. They read your inputs. It's really annoying. But I think that the developers knew how annoying the Lycans were because you actually don't fight them that much in this game. A lot of times you're just fighting like really basic ghoul enemies. Even in like the factory, you're mostly fighting ghouls. But to start the game with a survival section when you only have the weakest handgun and the weakest shotgun, and you have to survive in like a thing that like there's 10 to 15 Lycans and the hammer guy for like 5 minutes, it is such a ridiculous requirement to get you started.
This game is way less scary looking in third person than it is in first.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not even a question.
I don't think this game is necessarily all that scary other than the dollhouse, but I really like the aesthetics. But yes, making it third person makes it a lot less. I mean, this was obviously a first person game first and foremost.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes back to the third person mode being like kind of really janky.
I wonder how tough it is to do that with a first person game. Like, what if they were just like, what if like Valve was like, hey, here's a mod for Half-Life 2, you play in third person. Like how ridiculously difficult would that be?
So here's a reason why the third person mode is really, really weird. So I'm holding sprint, or I tap sprint. But because it's a first person game, if I hold left for even like a second, I lose my sprint and I have to hit sprint again. But like when you're playing like a first person shooter, that's obvious. Like moving left and right is going to be mostly like a slow movement. But when you're playing it, like, if you're expecting it to play like RE4 Remake or RE2 Remake, it is not that. You lose your sprint instantly.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, because I don't really like Resident Evil 7 that much at all, to be honest. Like, it's fine. But I love Village, but like mostly what I hear from people is the opposite, which is very interesting to me.
I like RE7 more in this game.
But it has even a longer part of what's that brother's name? Jacob? I might be incorrect there. The brother to
What the hell was
or
that?
Jack's son, his like Saw type thing. That's even longer than the Dollhouse. And you have to do that.
But that's more like actual gameplay. I mean, you get into like environments where you have to like fight enemies. I'm not the hugest fan of that either, but I like it better than like Dollhouse and some other things.
Are you listening? Hey!
Alright, so we're getting to our first Lycon encounter. We literally do not have enough bullets to actually kill it on hardcore. But the lucky thing is that if you just avoid it and get the bolt cutters, it will immediately run away. Like they programmed that in.
Hey, buddy.
Dead body? Wait, there's more.
I mean, at the very least, like the Lycans like instantly killed them and wasn't like a cat like playing with its like food or whatever. So
Yes.
that's positive at least, right?
Lycons are weird because I guess they spread like virally. But
Yeah, I don't
also,
quite understand how that one works.
the game is also about like this is like the progenitor of like the mold strain that Ethan literally dies in RE7 and he's like resurrected by the mold. It can like replicate his basically all his functions in his brain, but Ethan is like one of the most unique humans alive at this point because he's literally a mold man. Like he's a dead human. It's pretty interesting, and that's why Mother Miranda wants Rose, because Rose is like this weird mold baby, the perfect specimen. Also, Ethan's hands get so messed up in this game. Everything gets messed up in this game.
Ethan had a hard life. Yeah, I forget if we talked about this before or if it was like my headcanon, but like when you look at all the Resident Evil characters, I think Ethan might be in the running for had it the toughest.
I mean, he's the only protagonist that dies.
Well, that's also true. But then you have like Chris, who
dies
was in
twice. He dies twice.
Right. Dies like immediately. In 7. You have Chris was in 1, and Code Veronica, and 5, and 8. I won't count him in 7. You have Leon being in 2, 4, 6. It would probably be one of those 3. Ethan, Leon, or Chris. Claire wasn't in quite enough games for me to really...
Claire has a really rough deal in Revelations 2, but I do think it's...
yeah, you're right.
I think it's probably Leon. I mean, Leon is basically the government's, like, lapdog.
It's also true. I mean, RE4 he was just setting because, like, save my daughter. And then in 6, it's just... Well, everyone has it bad in Resident Evil 6, but...
Alright, so there's one Lycan that drops down, like, right here. We do have to kill it. It takes about 20 bullets.
Oh my god. Leon, has to literally kill the President of the United States because he turns into a zombie right in front of him in RE6. Daily reminder, that happened. Mr. President. Leon!
I guess it's not... Yeah, I guess it isn't actually his dad because of President terms.
No, I looked this up. It is not President Graham. I think canonically it's Graham, President Graham, then another unnamed one, at least according to the wiki, and then that president. Which, like, if you're not gonna trust an absolutely ridiculous Resident Evil wiki of, like, the most hardcore fans humanly possible, who aren't you gonna trust, you know?
Hey, can you die? I'm not gonna heal. If I die, I die. Why are you... I put like 22 bullets into him.
That is hardcore. Literally.
But yeah, this game gets a lot easier. This is just... It's brutally difficult. In fact, the first time I did this, I couldn't even figure out how to win. I literally had to, like, just trial and error, look up, like, some, like, methods online, and once we get out into the actual village, I'm just kind of gonna do a very cheesy, just, like, loop.
Did Carcinogen ever do a hitless run of this game?
He did a no damage, like, heavily segmented run on Village of Shadows, and he hates this game. So this, like, the entire playthrough, he just is just moaning and complaining about it. And it's like, yeah, Village of Shadows new game is, like, absolutely zero fun. It's clearly designed to be a New Game Plus difficulty. It's just unfortunate because RE7 Madhouse difficulty is one of my favorite difficulties ever made. But Veteran actually doesn't change anything like Madhouse does. It just boosts, you know, like, enemy HP. You take more damage. But I really wish that, like, Village of Shadows was just hardcore. They did not need both. Hey, bud.
Dude, this pea shooter, they, like, do not even bother.
Yeah, the Lycan's barely a stun.
I don't expect them to be like, ugh, and fall back, but there is, like, legitimately no stun to it.
Come on! Okay. Get out of the way!
Like, you can hit him dead center of mass.
Yeah, the Lycans are terrible enemies. Honestly. What is going on? Of course, the weirdest RNG is happening. Thank you, dog. Just die. Just die. I know I'm missing some shots, but why is it taking so much? Why are you not dying? Did I accidentally choose Village of Shadows?
No.
But yeah, that's why you cannot kill the first Lycan. It is incredibly fortunate that they programmed the thing where it just runs away when you get to bolt cutters.
Are they even feasible to knife?
No. I mean, I guess you can if you're God, but I'm not.
Oh, 3 bullets. It is a really cool segment.
And they give you the shotgun right away.
I mean, if you play on, I assume most people would start on, like, normal. This is pretty fun and scary on normal difficulty. It just gets increasingly annoying as you get harder and harder.
I remember when I first played this on normal, I did die to this, like, 5-6 times in a row. It's a pretty brutal segment.
It is.
But because this game wants to be RE4 so badly, they definitely want to emulate the fact that RE4's beginning is also brutal. Alright, so I'm pretty much just going to be using the shotgun as, like, emergency self-defense in case a Lycan gets in front of me. Don't screw me over, don't screw me over. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so we're going to be using this one
There's no way to them.
fire barrel. I'm not sure exactly how this village attack works. I think killing stuff does advance the timer like a bit, but I'm not going to be killing stuff other than specifically this.
I forgot
now-
that the money's called lay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And now for the loop. So I'm going to be running through this rooftop, going down here, going back to the house that I camped in, and then we're going to wait near that hole until a Lycan gets close to me, then run through it, and then do the loop all over again.
That's fair. And that's pretty much what you gotta do.
Yeah.
They can't climb up there because the hole's like, you fall
They
down.
actually can.
Oh.
It happens sometimes, and I don't know why, and it's very startling. Also, the Lycans can sometimes be in this as well if you get super unlucky. I've done this probably like 10, 15 times now, and it's so unpredictable.
Should be called Lel. 270 Lel.
I looked up the speedrun just for ideas, and they do some weird thing where there's like a door near this house that they shut in a weird way. And I was like,
You know,
Meh.
that would be a fun...
it's just boring.
that would be a fun speedrun, I think, to watch.
It's probably not super fun to actually do because you have to do the dollhouse.
Right. Although, to be fair, people speedrun games that have... people speedrun, like, FF7, where
Yes.
literally 80% of the game you're just pressing X to move text along, so...
Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Okay.
When this game is, like, 80%, especially since you can skip cutscenes, 80% execution, I think they would be okay with that.
So the hammer guy is down here. It is... Are you kidding me? Thank you, dog. The hammer guy's down here. It's pure RNG if he hits you or not.
Where is he?
He's behind me.
Oh.
There he is.
Yeah, I remember... This is a really well-built area. I remember naturally I was, like, right where he shows up at, like, the exact point the first time I played it, and I was like... I mean, probably everyone thought the same thing. You have got to be kidding me, is probably what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
Although,
No! Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Please, 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 please. Okay, good.
I don't quite remember because it's been 3 years, but I feel like once you see that guy, then you think, okay, I can't possibly kill all these enemies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even if you're going through on normal and, like, trying to kill them all, then the second you see that big guy, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Does it, if the timer runs out and you're, like, in here, I forget, you have to be, like, outside for it to...
I think so. Thank you, Lycons. There we go. Cool. There's a lot of different animations that can happen. Probably the most common one is you get shot through the leg with an arrow.
I think I've only ever seen the shot
Yeah.
through the arrow. Shot in the leg.
One time when I was doing it, they actually can grab you on the roof, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Also, thank God there's no Lycons on horses in the actual game. That'd be so annoying.
Yeah, again, when I saw that the first time, I was like, oh, these things are smart. Heh. Sup. How much do you think that hammer weighs?
Look at it. It has to be like 500 pounds.
3.
Heh. La Campana.
Where is everyone going? Bingo?
Bingo. Another case where this game really wants to be. What? So even if I don't get shot with an arrow, I still have an arrow through my leg.
You know, you
Oof.
you used to be on a quest to save your daughter, but then you took an arrow to the knee. Rip.
We did it, Reddit.
Oh my god, thank you for the gold, kind stranger.
Wait, wait.
Yeah, I don't understand why Mother Miranda does anything, to be honest with you. Because that's her, right?
I understand what's going on here. So Mother Miranda actually does want you to kill all the 4 her heads because she doesn't like any of them.
Why can't she do it?
Because we need to have a video game.
Right, okay. I didn't know if there was a reason, like, they're my children, I can't do it, or whatever.
But yeah, she doesn't care about any of the 4 heads. And yeah. That's why they specifically give each one a rose part, because they know that Ethan's going to go after them.
Hello? You shouldn't be out here. It's not safe. What the hell? Hey, can you hear me?
It's you, the child's father.
Child? Hey, wait. Do you mean Rose? Is she here?
Rose! Rose! Yes. She is in great danger.
Hag.
Mother
Ah!
Miranda brought her to the village and have fallen into darkness.
What are you talking about? The monsters?
I don't know, the 15-foot thing holding a 500-foot hammer. Or 500-pound hammer.
The interesting thing about the lore of this game a bit is how long...
Where's Rose? Who's Mother Miranda?
The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again.
Oof. The interesting thing is how long and how old a lot of these characters are. I was looking it up in the wiki a bit, but like, apparently Lady D is like 100 years old, and like she gets like implanted with the mold like in the 40s. And also Mother Miranda is like 100 years old. It's
Right,
kinda
because
cool.
the Mother Miranda stuff, they're talking about, like, the Great War or something. Like, I think she might be older than that.
Yeah, I mean, it might be like...
Because I think they're talking about it in, like, the 20s or something. It's been a while, so it might be later than that.
Yeah.
But. Comfy.
Yeah, this game is...
Just leave it like this.
I wish it snowed the entire game, but it doesn't. In fact, it stops like immediately after you get to the townhouse.
It's literally all over.
It is so over.
We are not back, bros. Man, all this stuff I just completely forgot. It's so weird. I play a game. I mean, I know the rough, skeleton of the game, but I play it so much. And then 3 years later, like, I don't remember where any of this stuff is.
So there's Lycons in this field, but they immediately despawn after you go into this house. So we're going to be exploring it more thoroughly.